Hey guys, I'm Morthadon, and we are back for Better Call Saul Season 6, Episode 8. So, last time was crazy. We had the death of Howard, which is just so sad. He was such like a, obviously he had his issues where, granted a lot of times he was right, but blaming Jimmy and like, I don't know, there was just some moments where he like pinned everything on Jimmy, even Kim leaving her job and all that. And I I wasn't as offended by it as Kim was, but after Kim said something, I was like, it is kind of insulting to think that she's not like. It's basically saying she's not smart enough of a person to be able to, separate the manipulation of Jimmy to, her own wants and goals and stuff like that. So, I get it, but unfortunately, he's dead now. He did not deserve what he got. Shot in the head by Lalo. For some reason, Lalo went to them. I'm still not 100% sure. By the way, a correction from something I said in my earlier videos where, I don't even know if you guys heard it. I think it was towards the end. But I think I mentioned there being one more season after this. There is not. This is a slightly longer season. I think it's 13 episodes in total instead of 10. But this is the final season, which also means that there's only like, 8, 9, 10, 11... 12, 13, yeah, so 6 episodes left. That's insane to me. And we're getting close to being done the show. So, thank you all for watching and sticking around this long if you have. It's been a wild ride. I'm not ready for it to be over. I wanted there to be another season, but apparently there's not, so we all just have to suck it up and admit that it's about to be over. So, and I actually got to start thinking about what I'm going to be doing next for this show slot. So, yeah. Anyways, guys, let's watch this episode and see what kind of craziness goes on. Why did Lalo go to these two? What's going on, huh? Alrighty, we're gonna start here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, now. If you're wondering about my background, I got my flooring redone. So I haven't put my whole room back together since that has happened because I am a lazy, tired fuck. Why are we at the water? What does this mean? Shoe? Oh boy. It's gonna be like... the scale where we're gonna see that water looks nasty. We're gonna see what's up with that shoe by the end of this. Or we're gonna see what's up with the shoe now. I don't pay enough attention to what people wear for shoes to know if that's someone in the show's shoe. Oh shit. I was curious if it might have been... Did they just dump his body here? In the water? They can't make that look like a suicide. I mean, I guess unless they make it look like he shot himself in the head. Like, having the car there by the water, having his wallet and his ring there... kind of like someone preparing, being very meticulous for the end of their life kind of thing. I think that could be possible. But then my thought was like they're making it look like he just walked in the water and killed himself, but he has a bullet hole in his head. But I guess he was shot in the side of the head, so if they leave a gun with him or something, maybe they'll think it was just suicide. Going through marriage problems, lost Chuck. He couldn't take it anymore. He was seeing a therapist. Maybe people would believe it. Oh, fuck. So thick. I hate that. Jeez. Is this why Kim isn't in the picture anymore? Not that she dies. Don't step in the blood. But maybe this is all too much for her and she just leaves. Alright. Is it Gus's house? Use his car as a distraction. Still gonna pull the hammer back though, right? Jesus. Just trying to get him to kill Gus, or... Yeah, he's gonna make her stay. Is he actually gonna have to do this to save Kim? He wants her to run. That's what he wants, isn't it? I think Jimmy wants to sacrifice himself. Yeah. Shit, man. Thing is we know Jimmy lives. Don't know how, but what happens to Kim? I don't think she has a way to contact Mike. Oh, Kim. She is so shaken. Fucking Lalo, man. Yeah, does he actually stay? Technically, he could kill Jimmy right now. And Kim wouldn't know. Kim would go through with what she's doing. Oh, that's holding the seat on. I was like, look, it already has strings to tie his hands to it. Jimmy didn't know that he was alive, did he? Kim knew. I guess the good thing is if he leaves Jimmy like this, it'd be pretty hard for the cops to think that he killed Howard, right? Tied to a chair. So that's something, I guess. Gonna, you know... Shit. Doesn't look like it's tied very tight around his head, but... Oh, he put the TV on for him. Well, I guess to mask him mumbling. He shakes his head. Jimmy. Oh, and he has to, don't tip yourself over. I don't know. Maybe it's a good thing. Maybe you'll break the chair. I feel like every chair I've owned has been flimsy enough that I could maybe break it. Oh, and you're gonna be right face to face with him. Oh, Howard. Jeez. Alright. What do you do, Kim? She threw away the directions. That wasn't Mike's car, was it? Oh, the police. Oh, Kim, don't freak out. She rolled her window down. Is there a chance? I mean, she could also just go to the cops. Or call them. This is not her only chance, but... So tense, man. Is that the house? Man, she could just get arrested, right? That's another thing. If she does manage to kill someone, right? Like, someone's gonna open the door. What if it isn't actually him that opens the door? What if she kills one of the people working for him, and then she goes to jail, and that's why she's not in Breaking Bad? Like, I mean, in a way, Jimmy's kind of right, though. Having, like, a woman show up, she could, like, say she has car trouble, stuff like that. Might be better than just a random guy showing up, you know? Unfortunately, we men are much easier to trust a woman than a man. Oh man, she actually came here. Well, Mike answers or something. She was given a description though. So if like I mean, obviously it's not a lot to go off of, but if the person that answers is white, then, you know. Oh. Yep. That was definitely Mike. Damn. You can realize they're not talking about him. Obviously, it's just someone that looks similar. He had to pull his security. Yeah, you gotta be careful. Mike isn't as forgiving. Or, I mean, sorry. They aren't as forgiving as Mike. If Mike's not there, Kim could be in more danger. This could be what Lalo wants, though. Because Lalo left, so... Shit. Alright. Yep, he's here. He's at the laundry, though. That's not Gus's house. So he still plans on breaking into the laundry, huh? I mean, I know that was his original plan. Go in and kill everyone. I guess he just used Jimmy and Kim to thin the herd? I guess. Oh my god, he literally just got back. Son of a bitch. Where were you, guy watching cameras? Might have been a shift that he knew about because he's been watching. What are you up to, Gus? He has a stage prepped at the laundry, right? Where he hid that gun, counted the steps. That's what Jimmy does. Is he realizing? Is he realizing what's going on? That this is just a diversion? Is he gonna go in? Alright. I was gonna say, luckily the neighbors weren't spooked by the gunshot, but he had a silencer on. Tis why. Alright. Shit. I mean, we know it's just Jimmy in there, right? So they're gonna untie him, they're gonna clean up the body to what we saw in the beginning of the episode, probably. Whenever they can get around to it. Oh, is Gus here? You're not listening to Mike's plan! Someone really should have informed Mike about this first. If shit goes haywire, he doesn't know where he is, you know, if they can't get contact. Gus is meticulous, he knows the place well. Ventilator squeaking. Yeah, one of the blades is bent in. He squeezed in through that. Ugh. Yep. God damn, Lalo's so good. He took down 4 guys before one of them could turn around. He's gonna tell him to show him the hole, and that's where it's gonna go down. Oh, Jimmy. Ugh, like the snot and the drool. The cloth is even wet, too. Alright. Yeah, he's not gonna be able to reach him now. Bulletproof vest on. Jesus. Alright, he has a gun prepped for this. But can he pull it off? Damn, he knows Mike well enough. You know, some of the guys at the house have to know that he came here, right? Oh shit, well, body armor. That's a pretty thin chest rig he's got. It can't feel good. It's probably enough to, like, break a rib or something. He did. Comes down forward, doesn't want to turn his bike back to Gus. Makes sense. I like that. Hell, we saw him jump off that cliff. He could just jump down those stairs. Freaking badass. The future meth lab. Man, he learned all the deets. It is very impressive what they pulled off here. Alright, Gus. Don't you have to pull the... Not the hammer, but you gotta, like, cock it? I don't know the right term. I don't know guns. I just know whenever you, like, reload in a game, you drop the mag out, put a new one in, and then pull it back. I don't think I saw him do that. It's to load the first bullet into the chamber, I believe. Or else the first shot's gonna just be nothing. Does he use his feet to unhook the wire? Walk back and forth so when he walks over to the cable it's not suspicious. Do it just while he's, like, pacing, maybe. Yo. It looks like that cable's already disconnected. Does Lalo die here? Oh shit. How do you only have that many shots? He only shot like twice. He might have fired 3 bullets. The camera's on the ground, so what happened? What do you do? Don't make too much noise. He'll track you. Oh shit. I wouldn't trust it though, I wouldn't approach. Don't get close. No. That was clever though, turn the lights on for the machine. Oh damn, he got him. Kick the gun away. Son of a bitch, Gus. Just knew it was gonna end this way. He set it up to end this way, I should say. Oh, Lalo. I'm gonna miss him. Oh, that is a lot of blood. Laughed in the end. That's so Lalo. Damn. It's gotta be surreal, right? Like, that's all of his threats for now, right? I mean, no one else should be coming after him. Hector's not capable. Don Eladio hasn't been given any of these videos yet, as far as we know. Is there a second bullet wound? Oh shit, there was. I thought I saw something below that other bullet, so he was hit too, while he was running for the gun. Well, it's 13 minutes until Mike should get here. That was before the rant, so as long as the wound isn't that bad. Wait, why are we seeing Lyle? There's no way Gus gets from the laundromat to here with a gunshot wound, does he? But why are we here? Is it the only number he has saved in the phone that he has? No. Man, he... Friggin' Gus. Oh, is he getting... They're taking care of the bullet while he's doing this? Oh, it's a through and through. That's not too bad. Jeez. Just making a call about his restaurant in the middle of this. That's crazy. To me, I don't know why. Just ignore what he says, whatever. Alright. Mike gonna get mad? You did exactly what I told you not to do. Yeah. Yep. Shit. Alright. They covered the body. What are they doing? Oh, they're gonna use the fridge to get the body out, aren't they? Make it look like they're just getting rid of a fridge. Oh shit, they sent Kim back. Is that Mike? Did he already bring a new fridge too? It's a nice refrigerator. Oh, Howard. It's gonna be hard to believe that he's dead after finding out that he's dead once already, right? Yeah, they're gonna continue pushing that. Oh, okay. Okay. Mike's good at this. Yep. Except you have a new refrigerator. What about the blood on my floorboards? I'm sure they're gonna clean it, right? Jesus. Alright. Are they just digging? They're just putting Lalo under, aren't they? Putting him under the meth lab he tried to prove. Kind of ironic. Are they gonna put Howard down here too? Yeah, they are. What about the other men upstairs? The 4 bodyguards. That got shot by Lalo. Jeez. Who's he looking for? His wallet. Wallet and the wedding ring. That's what we saw in the beginning. Yeah, okay. I thought he would have already done that, but I guess not. Oh, they're gonna make the shoes wash up too? I mean, I guess we saw the shoes. It makes sense, but... Never find the body. But give enough for there to be reasonable suspicion that this is what happens. Interesting. Saying easy, is that out of respect for the dead? Man. And all the time we never knew that they were buried under here. Through Breaking Bread and all that. It's like really scary to think about, like stuff like this, like where could there be like bodies hidden kind of thing, right? Like it's kind of crazy to think about. For all I know, the guy who did the foundation of this house was some kind of murderer who hid a body underneath it, you know? Oh, that's it. Wow, okay. That is the end of episode 8. Kind of like a somber, slower ending to the episode, just kind of out of respect for the dead, right? Like, Lalo, a great antagonist through the show. I wasn't sure how I felt about Lalo at first, because it's like, they introduced him so late, I felt like, in the show. Like, we didn't meet him until, like, season 4 or 5, right? I guess this is 6. Yeah, 4 or 5, I'd say. And knowing Breaking Bad, we knew that he wasn't in Breaking Bad, so he had to be a compelling enough character to make us love him, despite the fact that we know, for the most part, what's going to happen to him, right? Like, we don't see him in Breaking Bad, which means Gus probably takes care of his little problem and all that. So, I don't know if Gus is still working for Don Eladio by the time of, like, Breaking Bad, right? Like, does he get away? Can you even get away from a cartel leader, you know, like that? So maybe Gus still works for him, but then makes money on the side with his own business. I don't know. Or maybe he gets, like, Don Eladio killed. I don't know. But I am kind of curious about what happens there between... I guess I'd have to watch Breaking Bad again and listen out for Gus talking about, like, oh, I gotta go make Don Eladio happy or something, and see if he mentions at all about that. I don't know. But yeah, we had, you know, Lalo's plan was to send Kim over there to cause a panic, which will then split the soldiers, split, like, the, you know, the bodyguards and stuff between protecting that house and then also going to Jimmy's house to try to look for Lalo and stuff like that. And then, you know, while all that's going on, Lalo went after the laundromat to get the proof he was hoping for. Go in there, kill everyone. Now, if Gus never showed up, I wonder if Lalo would have found it, right? He might have, because he knew something about, like, the south wall or something like that, wasn't it? Or the east wall? Something like that, right? Where... because he, like, antagonized Gus about it, right? Like, the south walls are gonna look great when they talked about, like, the chicken cooler or whatever. So I wonder if he knew what cardinal direction, whichever one that was, that he knew about, if he went to that wall and just started, like, fiddling with the buttons on those dryers or something, would he have realized, you know, he had a trapdoor thing like that too. He even mentioned it here with the bathtub. So maybe he would have thought the same way, kind of thing, and maybe he would have found it, despite, like, even if Gus wasn't here, and then he would have got the proof that he needed to send to Don Eladio, and then Don Eladio probably would have had the forces to combat Gus, right? Not just poor little Lalo all alone. So, yeah, pretty good plan, but unfortunate for Lalo, he did not give Gus the credit where credit is due, where he, you know, potentially saw this outcome happen several episodes ago, however long that was in the story, where he set this up to have the cable ready to be unplugged. He had the gun ready, and fortunately, he was able to remember enough of where Lalo was standing, and Lalo didn't move in the meantime, that he was able to land a shot, right? So... a kill shot at that, like, disabled Lalo. So, pretty crazy stuff. I mean, I can't say I didn't see it coming for Lalo, but it does stink to have him dead. I mean, we are coming up to the end of the show, though, and we still have to wrap up Jimmy's story, which is, you know, I guess you could say is the primary purpose of Better Call Saul. You know, it's in the name. So we still have to have Jimmy get set up as Saul Goodman a little more than he already is, probably, right? And then we also have to go into that flash forward that we've been seeing throughout the whole show, where last we saw, I'm pretty sure last we saw of that, we saw his house being emptied, right? But we haven't followed up with the whole fact that one guy saw him and he called the laundry place and then was like, actually, never mind, I'm gonna handle it myself. And, you know, so... we don't know what that means, you know, what's Jimmy going to be up to, and is he still just going to be working at Cinnabons in the end, or does he get back in the game or something in the very end? I don't know what so I'm really curious, like, does the show end with a flash forward? Do we kind of wrap up Jimmy's episode, like Jimmy's story in the past, like a few episodes early, and then spend a few episodes with the flashback or flash forward stuff? I don't know. I'm really curious, but we're going to have to wait, watch, and see. Howard's car, making it look like a suicide, having a body they'll never find. Howard's life was a bit difficult. He lost Chuck. He was going to therapy. His wife wasn't talking, or, like, not, they weren't, like, fully together. Things were difficult for him and everything. So, And now this whole situation with making this deal go bad because of what made people look like a drug problem. They're gonna find some cocaine there and stuff like that. It's all gonna line up with the story that Jimmy and Kim have been prepping and all that. So I guess yeah, it just sucks. I don't want to like I talked a lot about Lalo this episode. I don't want to dismiss Howard either because he's also a great character. Been in since episode 1. You know, I think, or very early on in the show, he was a part of it and all that, and he was a compelling character going from, you know, the very beginning where he's rejecting Jimmy. It turns out that was Chuck behind the scenes doing it, and that made me be like, oh, I hate this Howard guy, you know, he's a prick. But then we learned that stuff about Chuck, and it's like, oh, so Howard's just been doing what his, you know, partner has been saying, and it's like, and now Chuck's kind of the dick, and you know, Howard's just not that bad. And then from there on out, I haven't really minded Howard. He's just been kind of a chill dude, going about his life, trying to put the pieces back together after, you know, the fallout of Chuck and Jimmy being just a part of his life. So, and now the poor guy's just dead, buried under a, you know, place that no one may ever find. I don't know, did they ever find the meth lab? I don't know that they ever found the meth lab in Breaking Bad, right? So it's even possible, like, if they can somehow make it so the that dryer doesn't open anymore, I don't know that anyone, even future owners of that building, would ever even know that meth lab exists, let alone the bodies that are buried underneath it, you know? It's like, I highly doubt anyone's gonna dig up that space. If anything, they're gonna fill it because it's not, like, part of code or something, you know? I highly doubt anyone's gonna dig up and be like, I wonder if anyone hid any bodies under here. Plus, they're, like, 6 feet under that, too. So it's like, yeah, those bodies are probably never going to see the light of day again. So I do really like the just the respect given by Mike, because I mean, he told them, like, easy, you know, when they were moving the bodies. Although, I mean, he didn't really say it for Lalo, but he at least said it for Howard, and it's kind of like, you know, in a way, Mike could blame himself for that because he pulled the people off of Jimmy. And because of that, it's possible that if Jimmy still had people watching him, maybe they could have spotted Lalo and maybe Howard wouldn't have died. So I wonder if there's a little bit of Mike that puts what happened to Howard on himself, and telling him to be, like, easy with the body is just kind of like a respect, right? So, but, yeah, just sending Kim to the house. Now, granted, it seems like she went to the wrong house, right? Does that mean Lalo's intel was just wrong? Like, it seems like Gus was either Gus was in another room in that house, or Gus was in the other house and this was the dummy house that they were watching from, right? I'm not sure which one it really was, but either way, you know, Mike was there and ready for Kim to show up, just opened the door, pulled her in before she could even get the gun really ready and everything. But nothing that I thought went true. Like, I was like, does Kim, I mean, at least so far, Kim is still around. You know, I imagine it's gonna look suspicious if Kim just, like, bails now, right? So I almost feel like she has to stay for a little while to keep the Howard cover going and everything, and then maybe she leaves because this is all too much, or I feel like that's probably not going to be the case. I was wondering if Kim would just leave because this is all too much for her, you know? But I'm really curious what the relationship will be like between Jimmy and Kim, because in a way, it's kind of Jimmy's fault for getting caught up in all this in the first place, right? So, but they also might blame themselves because, you know, Kim really pushed to have this done to Howard, right? If they never pulled this shit on Howard, Howard would have never had a reason to come over to their house on that day, and then what happened to him never would have happened. So she could just blame herself too, you know? So it'll be interesting to see the way that things go. And Kim's pretty good about being like self-aware about stuff like that, so I believe that Kim probably would blame herself over blaming Jimmy for getting Lalo in her life in the first place. And she's also the one that didn't tell Jimmy about Lalo being alive still, right? So there's a whole lot of blame to be put around. There's a whole lot of shit to work through. So I'm really curious to see how these next couple episodes go with their relationship. But also, she didn't kill anyone. She didn't get arrested, which is another theory that I came up with this episode. Obviously, this episode, because, you know, she just got the gun. But, yeah, so. I'm so curious why she isn't in Breaking Bad, if she's still alive at this point. I mean, honestly, Jimmy's already, like, going under a different name. If he was trying to keep his private life and all that, like, separate, it's not like we got into a lot of Jimmy's private life in Breaking Bad. Like, he could have a wife and just not tell anyone about her, and that's the story for Breaking Bad, right? Like, it's just like he has a wife, but he doesn't want her involved, so, you know, I just don't talk about her kind of thing. And then that leads into Breaking Bad, where we never hear about her in that show, because we're seeing Saul Goodman in Breaking Bad. We're not seeing Jimmy, right? So I still think it's possible that they're married and together by Breaking Bad point. Now, she isn't with him in the flash forward, so maybe that is a big indicator. Either that, or when they all had to run and go undercover or whatever, or not undercover, but, you know, just get out of there and flee and go into hiding, maybe she took a different path and like they couldn't stay together for it. I don't know. Or, you know, something does happen. We'll have to wait and see. So, anyways, guys, that's it for me. Great episode. Again, I have a feeling that pretty much all of these episodes, I'm going to be saying that because we are gearing up for the end. So, things are going to be resolving. But, yeah, hit that subscribe button if you enjoyed. Check out my Patreon, link in the description below, where you can see the rest of the show right now. And you can see whatever has replaced this, which will have a lot of episodes by this point of whatever the next show is, or multiple shows, depending on what I watch next. So, thank you guys. It's going to be it. Links should be popping up all over the place. Thank you, and I'll see you in my future reactions. Bye-bye.